Today we will take a look at this. I'm very excited. The second package has just arrived. Now, this is a very popular and common retro computer, at least here in Europe. But for years I've been looking for a working one in good condition and with all the accessories at a decent price. Furthermore, a few days later, I found the matching monitor on eBay, which is rarer and more refined, and very expensive also, at a very reasonable price. So even if it is not a rarity, it's a very important moment for me. Let's say no more and let's open this stuff right away. So, the first package is what's this? Oh yeah! So the first package is a World Cup kickoff, a game for Amiga in a PlayStation 1 case. Oh, this is also signed. Yeah, I know it. I don't know. Very cool. Yeah. Move on. Oh my god. So. Aha! This is Defcon 5! Yeah, it's missing one disc, but yeah, from Micropose. Yeah, this is awesome! A big box game for the Amiga 500. Yeah. The action pad, a controller for the Amiga with two buttons. Yeah, mostly of the controller of the era was like this. This is for the Commodore 64 and it has one button. There are two buttons, they do the same things. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. Some cables. Oh, look at that! Yeah, awesome. They always reminded me the tank mouse from the Macintosh and things like that. Very neat. This is the brick power supply. This is not heavy at all. I was expecting something like the Commodore 64 power supply, but this is very light. Now the cool stuff. The 1 megabyte expansion box. The previous owner write on the box, so that's unfortunate. But in the box there is no the expansion unit, but there are several floppy games for the Amiga. Floppy and startup discs. Oh, wonderful! I never had a Commodore diskette. Another 1 megabyte box. I wonder if this is not the expansion for the Amiga, but there is the simply box for, you know, diskette from 1 mega and formatted. There are 720 kilobytes. I don't know. Another box full of games and something strange. What is this? A floppy? Oh, I actually never seen one of these. Ah, that's awesome! Yeah! Oh, that's awesome! That's really awesome. Unfortunately, I was not able to find a boxed Amiga, but this lot was amazing, so I had to pick it. On eBay there are several empty boxes that goes around 20 euros, things like that. So maybe in the future I will buy one of those empty boxes and make me a full set. Yeah. Ah, there is a broken piece of plastics. I don't know, but it seems from the case of the Amiga. So maybe I will be able to fix this with super glue. The keys feels terrible, and it's also pretty clean. I had a bunch of... Oh, no. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. This is the broken piece. Oh. Oh, no, man. That's not good. I have to find all the broken plastics. That kinda sucks. Oh, well. Yep. Another... this is pretty unfortunate. Yeah. Look at that! Oh, I'm not happy anymore. Yeah, whatever. It's done. Those are all the pieces I was able to find. Well, I hope for the best. This is not broken, but those are, yeah, sad. Yeah, my broken Amiga. I'm so sad. Anyway, this is the second item I bought. This is the matching monitor for the broken Amiga 500. So let's get started. This is really well packed. A bunch of foam actually, but this is how to send a CRT. Thank you, really. I appreciate that. You can see it? Yeah. This is a 1084s DP1 from Commodore, and this is an RGB monitor, and this is awesome because on the back we have the RGB input, digital and TTL, composite input, chroma, luma and S-video, and this is good for almost every computer from the 80s and 90s. Even the IBM compatible NPCs can be connected to this thing. So it has one problem. The seller told me that the volume knobs don't work perfectly. I hope that some deoxide will fix it. So those are the things I have received with the Amiga, even the broken bits of plastic on the right, thank you seller. But for the moment it's mandatory to fix the case of the Amiga, so I will start immediately, right now. I managed to repair the case, even if a few pieces I was unable to reframe. The results looks good. Where I sand the color is different, so as soon as I have sunny days I will have to find a way to retrobrighting it. However, the case now looks solid. The corner was the most damaged part. I used cyanoacrylate glue combined with baking soda, as Tech Tangent aka Akbukuku suggested, and after sanding the area it looks good. Obviously the original texture is gone. However, it's back of the computer, so I don't care so much. This is my kitchen table. I'm here to do a retrobrighting. Unfortunately, in my city it's difficult to find hydrogen peroxide in liquid form. And so I had to buy the cream. This fact actually helped me, because the weather is not the best, it's very cold and there is little sun. So the cream method should be better than diving, because it is faster and does not require too much heat. is in a pretty good condition. It's pretty filthy though. I want to clean the dust first, discharge the CRT, and eventually sprinkle the deoxit onto the potentiometers. The anode cap made a big spark. It was a little scary, but now it seems okay. So there are no bulging capacitors, so this is good. Now let's clean it deeply. Now let's clean the PSU. Now everything is clean and dry and less yellow, so I can reassemble everything and do the smoke test. everything is connected, the Amiga is back in one piece. It has also come quite well, the upper part is still a little yellowed, but it is not so worrying. Without further ado, let's try it. Yeah, it's working! I feel better. Yeah. Together with the Amiga also arrived the video cable, which has SCART output. Now, the monitor I intended to use, the Commodore 1084s P1, has no SCART input. In fact, the first power-up test I did it using a normal television. Frankly, I don't care to connect the Amiga to the television, so I will use the cable for the TV as a base to build the one for the monitor. Let's talk about the input of this monitor. It has a DB9 connector, which, via switch, modulates both the digital RGB signal and the analog RGB signal. The digital RGB signal is used by MDA, CGA, and I'm not sure, but I think EGA video cards. The output of the Amiga 500 is RGB analog, so it's changing the arrangement of some pins. And as can be seen from this diagram, the digital signals requires intensity at pin 6, while the analog has composite sync at pin 7. Both have horizontal sync and vertical sync. I don't want to go too far in technical difference between analog and digital signal, both because this explanation will go beyond the scope of these videos, and because it is a fairly complicated topic and there are people who knows more about it than me. However, suffice to say that the difference is similar in principle to what between a vinyl record and a compact disc. On the vinyl record, the grooves are the actual signal, which the stylus transfers to an amplifier. In the compact disc, the signal is composed of a series of zeros and ones, which are then interpreted by the laser, converted by a chip called DAC, digital to analog converter, into an analog signal, which in the end is amplified. On the left is the diagram that I found online for the construction of the cable. As you can see, the cable is genuinely RGB. In fact, it has composite sync, the output of the three colors, and the ground. I believe that the SCART cable that I am about to cannibalize is made in the same way. In fact, in addition to the composite signal, the SCART connector can also carry the RGB signal, and televisions generally able to modulate it. Explained the technical part, let's start that practice part. To make the connector to the monitor, I will use this old null modem cable, which I already used the other half for another project. So let's try it with the new cable. And it works! Awesome! Now I want to pay my attention to the mouse. I want to clean it because it is filthy, and yeah, it's functioning, but it's really dirty. So let's try. Okay, we are at the end of day 3 of aesthetic and functional restoration of my Amiga set. Now I have a fully functional and aesthetically appreciable Amiga. There are some things that I don't like too much and that I would like to solve. First of all, the case, which although repaired, is still broken, has cracks and needs to be replaced. Secondly, the yellowing of the case. The upper part is still a bit to be finished, but in coming weeks it will rain a lot, so when I have some sun I will try again. Third, the floppy eject button has been replaced with a 3D printed one and it's really ugly. I want to find a way to change it. Fourth, the monitor panel is missing. I should try to get one. I hope you enjoyed following me on this project. Stay tuned for the part 2, where we'll explore the games and features of these 80s must. Bye bye!